Dakota Kai debuts next week on Dynamite against Mercedes Mones. Don Callis helps her win the match. Tony Khan is confused backstage, like, hey, I didn't sign Dakota Kai. I didn't bring Dakota Kai in here. Don Callis now has a storyline in which he is going above AEW brass to do whatever he feels is best for the Don Callis family. If you want storyline long term, this isn't a company invasion, but this is something where Tony Khan, who isn't always on TV, now has a storyline where the Don Callis family is kind of doing their own thing. People compare the Don Callis family to the NWO because of how big the group is and its random members and stuff. But imagine Dakota Kai shocks the world, wins the TBS championship. Mercedes Moné now turns into a baby face who has to chase the title. You can now do a storyline long term where you have the biggest stars of the company facing off against each other. Will Ospreay, Kenny Omega, Mercedes Moné, right? You can obviously add more to that. And those are your baby faces. And then you have some very strong heels as well, which Dakota Kai would immediately be one of the top heels in AEW. Yeah, maybe this is fantasy booking at its core, but imagine if Dakota Kai were to win the TBS championship in her debut. This could be a long-term story for Mercedes to sink herself into and one for AEW fans to get invested in.
I really hope they don't do that, because if they're going to have a storyline with the Don Callis family, I mean, they should do it with somebody else. They shouldn't do it with Dakota. I feel like if you add Dakota in the mix and she gets hurt, then it's just like, where do we go from there? You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm going to let y'all talk about this, but what do y'all think? Do you think Dakota should sign with AEW and face Mercedes for the title? Or do you think that it should be somebody else? Y'all comment down below, let me know.